let's see today's lovely mushroom potato chops. Now first I'm going to make the filling. So here I'm just going to heat a pan on a low to medium flame. Add about half a tablespoon of oil. Now you can use olive oil or you can use regular cooking oil. Let the oil heat up well. Then I'm going to add 4 cloves of garlic that I've chopped fine. We're going to fry the garlic really well till the rawness of the garlic goes away. And the garlic also flavors the oil really well. Then I'm going to add half an inch of grated ginger. All I've done is taken a cheese grater and just grated the ginger. Next goes in 1 medium-sized onion that I've chopped fine. Now we're going to saute all of this really well till the onion becomes nice and translucent. Now I've used about 7 button mushrooms, washed them really well, and I've chopped them up, taking off the stems, chop them up fine, and we're going to fry these mushrooms really well. So we're going to cook these mushrooms till all the moisture, as you can see, there's some liquid or moisture that is that the mushroom gives out as you cook it. So we're going to let all of that dry up and really fry the mushrooms, or cook the mushrooms really well before we season it or flavor it. So now you can see the mushrooms have nicely cooked. Now we're going to add about 1/4 teaspoon of pepper powder. So this is homemade pepper powder. I've just taken the peppercorns, just roasted them and ground them to a fine powder. Then we're going to add some salt to taste. And again fry everything or mix everything really well. Now I'm going to add about 1 teaspoon of coriander powder or dhania powder. I've done the same thing. I've taken the dhania, roasted it, or the coriander seeds, and then ground them to a fine powder. So I do this, make the coriander powder, cumin powder, pepper powder, and keep it so I can just use it when I need it. And now I'm going to add half a teaspoon of jeera powder or cumin powder. Mix everything really well. And now I'm going to add half a teaspoon of red chili powder for a little bit of a spice. And just a pinch of garam masala. Now this is again homemade garam masala, so I'll leave a link of how I prepared my garam masala at home. Now mix everything really well. So if you want to find any of my recipes, for example, garam masala, all you'll do is just type garam masala, Akshita's recipes in the YouTube search button and my recipe will pop up. So that's the easiest way to find my recipes. So now our mixture is ready. So we're just going to keep it aside to cool. Now we're going to work on the potatoes. So I've taken about, I'm going to be using just 4 potatoes, but I'm going to cook them for about 1 whistle on a high flame in my pressure pan and then simmer them for 10 minutes. Let them cool down completely after they're cooked. And then I'm going to just peel the potatoes and mash them up. So you see I have more than 4 potatoes in the pressure pan. That's because I always like to keep 2 boiled potatoes at hand in my refrigerator. Anyway, so now I've mashed up the potatoes really well. We have our filling ready and I just have some breadcrumbs at hand. So I'm just going to make a ball of the filling and then just flatten it out completely. And then I'm going to make it into like a basket shape. Just put in about a teaspoon of the filling. Don't overfill it and don't underfill it. And then just seal it up. Collect all the sides of the mashed potato like this. Seal it up. And now all you have to do is just coat it with some breadcrumbs. Now you don't need any egg dip for this or anything. It just, immediately coats the potato chop without any other like egg, medium or anything required. So just dip them in the breadcrumbs. Now an easy way to make breadcrumbs if you require them really urgently is just take some bread slices and just put them in your mixer and make the breadcrumbs. So now our potato chops are ready. You just have to do is all we have to do is just shallow fry them. So I'm going to heat a pan on a low to medium heat. I'm going to add half a tablespoon of oil. So you can make these potato chops and keep them in your refrigerator, and whenever you want, you can just shallow fry them. Keep them for at least about 2 or 3 days, not longer than that. And now I'm just going to shallow fry them on both sides till they're nice and golden brown in color. Now I also have a recipe for chicken mince potato chops. I'll leave a link for that in my description box below. So fry them well on both sides till they're nice and golden brown in color. And just enjoy this with some ketchup. And this is an ideal snack, or even as a side dish with some dal, rice, or with anything. It just goes amazingly well. So I hope you like today's recipe. I hope you give it a try. Do leave your comments in the comment section below. Go and check out my other recipes. Share my recipes with family and friends. And I'll catch you soon in my next video. Thank you for watching. See you. Bye. So friends, let's start with today's lovely Goan sorak recipe. Now here I'm taking an earthen pot, a typical Goan pot, but you can use a regular pan or a regular cooking vessel. Now I've added one medium-sized onion that I've sliced really fine, and I've added about 1 teaspoon of salt, and I'm going to mix this very well, and we're going to set it aside for 10 to 15 minutes, and then the onion will leave out some moisture, as you will see. So let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes. So you can see that the onion has left some moisture. Now let's see the other ingredients. Now here I have about 1 cup of water. This is just one lime-sized bowl of tamarind. I've soaked in half a cup of water for 15-20 minutes. These are 2 light green chilies that I've just slit in the center. Now these are the other ingredients. 1 cup of grated coconut. These are about 7 dried red chilies. 1 tablespoon of coriander seeds. 6 peppercorns. 6 cloves of garlic and about 1 inch of ginger. And about 1 teaspoon of cumin or jeera. Now all these ingredients that are in the plate, okay, I've just taken out the tips of the red chilies, and whatever is in the plate, that is all the coconut, etc. I'm going to grind this with that water to a very fine paste. Now all the ingredients along with their correct measurements and the method of preparing the sorak is in the description box below. So I'm going to add all of this to my mixer pot along with the water, and I'm going to grind it to a very fine paste. That is very important for the sorak. So after grinding it, the sorak should look like this, a very fine paste. Now I'm just going to add this paste to the onions and the salt mixture that is in the pot. Now this is the masala water, that is the water which we wash the mixer with, and I'm going to add the turmeric powder, 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder, and I'm going to mix this really well. Now this sorak recipe doesn't have even a drop of oil, so and yet it tastes so very delicious. Now I'm just squeezing out the tamarind juice. So I soaked this tamarind for about 15 to 20 minutes in regular room temperature water, and then we just have to squeeze out the pulp of the tamarind, and we're going to add this. So this adds a lovely tangy flavor to this sorak. So this is a very beautiful curry, and you have to make this if you haven't made it yet. So I'm going to mix everything really well, and I'm going to add this masala water to it, and again give it a mix. And now we're just going to cook this on our gas top on a low to medium flame. We're going to simmer this for about 10 to 15 minutes. Let it cook really well. Now I'm going to add a pinch of sugar. Now remember, we already added salt initially when we were, when we mixed the salt with the onions. So now taste the sorak and then only add, salt to taste, because we've already added salt in the beginning. So only after you give this sorak a taste, you can add salt if required. And now all we have to do is just simmer it for another 5 to 10 minutes. And there it is, friends. Our sorak is ready. It goes so well with some rice, some fried fish, or some prawns, fried prawns. And the longer you keep it, it tastes even better. So I hope you like this lovely, simple Goan recipe, and I hope you give it a try. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you soon in my next video. Bye. less oil, right? Just half a teaspoon of oil, no masalas whatsoever, simple ingredients. And the end result is this lovely, light and delicious French bean vegetable. Now, some little tips I'd like to give you about the French beans is that when you're buying it, always check, because mostly what they do is the vegetable vendor will give you a whole bunch of it when he's giving it to you, but go through them, because sometimes some of them are very soft. Don't buy the soft ones. They have to be nice and firm. They have to have this lovely light green color on them. They shouldn't be very dark green, and they shouldn't have any kind of mold or something in them, because some of them do if they're very, very old. Also, you can come to know that the French beans are nice and fresh because the ends also are really nice and crisp and firm, not crisp but firm. So don't buy French beans which are soft at all. They should be very firm to the touch. So go through your French beans. Don't just allow the person to give you, the vendor to give you an entire bunch, because that's how they generally do it. Tell them, I want to choose the French beans and then bring it home, otherwise you'll just be wasting them. Also, when you're cutting the French beans, be careful. Sometimes there could be, some spoiled seeds inside, or spoiled beans, or sometimes some vegetable worms. So keep an eye when you're cleaning the vegetable. Also, what I like to do is whenever I buy vegetables and I'm going to use it for that particular day, I always take my vegetable. I have a tub. I put water in it. I put a little bit of salt. I mix the salt well with the water, and I always like to put these French beans, or for that matter, lady fingers, or whatever I'm making, into the water. Let it be there for about 5 to 10 minutes. Then rinse it very well under clean running water, dry it, back dry it, and then only start using the vegetable, because vegetables are kept anyhow in the marketplace. They have dirt, they have mud, so it's always better to clean them thoroughly. And I also showed you all some white onions. So during the summer months, if you get your hands on these lovely white onions, try to include them in your diet, because they're really cooling, and you get them only before the during the summer months. So you can buy them, stock them up in the house, and have them during the summer and the monsoons. It's a nice cooling kind of idea. So get your hands on that. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you try out this simple recipe. I do have other variations of this of French beans. I will list that down below. Otherwise, you can also, if you want to have, just not make anything more elaborate, or if you're having some meat dish like a roast or something, you can just take this French beans after you've taken out the sides and remove the string. Take a little bit of olive oil, just saute the French beans, add a little bit of chopped garlic, a little bit of herbs, a little bit of salt, and toss it around, and then you can serve it with any meat dish. It tastes excellent. That's what I always do when I make a chicken roast. I like to serve these French beans at the side, with some garlic bread or some mashed potatoes. It's a fantastic meal. Just another idea for you all guys. So I like to take about 1 cup of rice, and I give it a thorough wash, and then I boil it in about 5 cups of water till it's just a little bit less than done. We don't want a very soft and mushy rice. So once our rice is really done, we just put off the flame, cover it, and just strain out all the water like this. So after all the water has been drained out, the rice is nice and loose, it's not sticky, the grains. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Akshita's Recipes. Thank you so much for stopping by today. So today I have one of my favorite desserts, which is my chocolate walnut brownie. So I've just prepared this and it's all ready, as you can see. And let me show you a piece. So this is it. It's got a lot of walnuts and it's nice and gooey in the center with a lovely crust on the top. So I've just baked it. It's out of the oven and I've just cut it up into nice big cubes like this. So this is just a 1-pot brownie, chocolate and walnut brownie recipe, and I can't wait to share it with all of you. It's one of the simplest brownies ever and anyone can make it. Just follow the instructions and follow the recipe to the T with the right measurements and you're there. So let's jump into today's recipe. So friends, let's see today's delicious chocolate walnut brownie recipe, which is super easy. So to a double boiler, I'm going to be adding 1.5 cup of dark chocolate compound that I've just chopped up into smaller pieces because that way it melts easier. And to this, I'm going to be adding 3/4 cup of butter. It's helpful if the butter is at room temperature. So just mix these two ingredients together till they become into a really smooth paste. And they melt like this. We shouldn't have any lumps in this. So it should be a very smooth kind of a batter. And now we're going to take it off the double boiler. To it, I'm going to be adding 3/4 of a cup of powdered sugar. So all I've done is just taken 3/4 of a cup of sugar, powdered it in my mixer jar, and added that. Now mix this in well. Next, I'm going to be taking 3 eggs, but we're going to beat the eggs up well before adding. That makes it easier, and it gets mixed up with the rest of the ingredients really well. So give it a good whisk, and then just pour it into with the rest of the ingredients and give it a thorough mix. Now we're going to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence. You could also add extract if you have it at hand. Now mix all of this really nicely together. And now we're going to add 3/4 of a cup of flour, which is plain flour or all-purpose flour. And again, give all of this a good mix. Now we just have one more ingredient and we are all set to go. So this would be a good time to preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius for about 10 minutes. And now I'm going to add half a cup of chopped walnuts. You can go with more or less. And now I'm just going to pour this batter into a lined cake tin. It's such a smooth, silky batter. I can't wait for the brownie to get ready. And now we're going to bake this in this preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. But keep an eye because every oven is different. And here our brownie is all ready. My entire kitchen has this beautiful aroma of brownies. And I can't wait to dig in. So I'm just going to wait for it to come to room temperature. And then I'm just going to demold it, take off all the baking paper. And then I can't wait to just cut it up into nice large cubes. And it's so soft and gooey. Because we added less cake flour or less plain flour, it becomes gooey. Otherwise, it comes into a cake consistency. So it needs to be soft and gooey. And that's it, guys. Your lovely chocolate walnut brownie is all ready to dig in. It's so delicious. And you can see all the walnuts. Wasn't this a real simple recipe, this lovely chocolate and walnut brownie? So a few tips I'd like to give you over here is that you keep all your ingredients ready before you start making the recipe. Don't hunt for the ingredients at the last minute. Keep everything ready. Now I love to use dark chocolate. You can use milk chocolate too, but I like the dark chocolate flavor for this brownie. It really goes well. And add the walnuts, guys. Of course, if you're allergic to walnuts, then you can drop it off. But walnuts and this dark chocolate compound is just amazing. And isn't it really simple? You just put everything into a big bowl and you're all set. So do try out this recipe and do let me know in the comment section below how you liked it. It's super simple and really, really delicious. And it goes very well with a nice big dollop of vanilla ice cream. I have a recipe for homemade vanilla ice cream. I'll leave that down below. And just pour some lovely chocolate sauce on the top, some Hershey's chocolate sauce on the top, and you're all set. And of course, don't forget the sprinkles if you're giving it to kids. So guys, that's all for today. I'll catch you soon in my next video, sooner than you think. This is Akshita signing off. Take care, guys. Bye. And of course, don't forget to like this video. Hit the thumbs up icon that you see below the video, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And once you have subscribed, click the notification bell. That way you won't miss out any of the recipes on my channel. So with all of that said and done, bye. See you soon.